Another parade, another bloody negotiation.
Smiles, everyone. We must be careful how we present ourselves.
Why did Divine Victoria call the Exalted Council? She's kept Orlais from bothering us for the last 2 years.
At increasing political cost, yes. She has done all she can, but the Exalted Council has become necessary. Orlais would control us, and based on their many marriage proposals, they have specific plans for you. Our real concern is Ferelden. They would see us disbanded entirely.
Inquisitor, it has been too long. I hope the years have been kind to you.
How have you been, Mother Giselle?
I spent last summer in Emprise de Lyon, distributing food sent from the Exalted Plains. The Dales are finally recovering.
Corypheus left a great deal of damage for us to repair. I appreciate your efforts.
And I yours, Your Worship. I should mention that your forces at Suladin Keep were of great help. Please give my compliments to Baron Deschedin. Divine Victoria asked me to greet you on her behalf. She is currently attending to the Ferelden ambassador's concerns.
You can probably just call her Leliana in private conversation.
You can, Inquisitor. I prefer to use her divine name. Our last divine once joked about why I insisted upon calling her Justinia. She called it my way of reassuring her that I had not completely forgotten who was in charge.
How do you think Divine Victoria has done these last 2 years?
It is hardly for me to say, Inquisitor.
With respect, that's never stopped you before, Mother Giselle.
Victoria has proven adept at winning allies with both her intelligence and her faith. It is a blessing in these trying times. We are lucky to have her.
I'll speak to Divine Victoria.
I believe she would appreciate that, Your Worship. The Divine sees the good that you can do and have done. Duke Cyril will wish to greet you on behalf of Orlais. I believe he is currently speaking with the Tevinter ambassador. Many of your friends have returned as well. I hope you have a chance to speak with them before the Exalted Council begins.
The Imperium sent an ambassador?
Yes, Your Worship. Dorian Pavas has taken the chance to return from Tevinter. It will be good to see him again. I owe him my apology. I allowed my distrust of Tevinter to cloud my judgment. He took a great risk coming to help us, and deserved better treatment.
You're going to apologize? To Dorian?
I have little patience for those who cannot admit they were wrong, Your Worship. Myself included. I will have to make my apologies somewhere public. He will want an audience for his reaction.
Who has returned for the Exalted Council?
Your dwarven friend, Master Tetras, for one. I understand he spent much of the last few years in Kirkwall. I believe Sir Blackwall has returned as well, although he now uses the name Tom Ranier. Enjoy time with them while you can, Your Worship. I doubt you will have the chance once the Exalted Council is underway.
Thank you, Mother Giselle.
Your Worship, a final question, if I may. This Exalted Council, Ferelden would have the Inquisition disband. Orlais sees its power as another feather in a chevalier's helmet. What do you wish to do with the Inquisition?
Corypheus is dead. We accomplished what we set out to do. If we're not needed any longer, and if it can be done peacefully, it may be time for the Inquisition to disband.
Thank you. Make her watch over you, Inquisitor. I will not keep you any longer.
The Prince of Starkhaven wrote to you again.
Of course he did. Just put that one in the pile with letters from the Merchants Guild.
And the captain of the city guard had a very colorful message for me to deliver to you as well.
Inquisitor! Andraste's ass, am I ever glad to see you?
And the Inquisitor comes to the rescue once again.
Is that what you call it?
This is Bran Caven. Until recently, he was the Viscount
Provisional Viscount.
of Kirkwall.
And what are you doing now?
I have resumed my post as Seneschal now that Master Tethras has been elected Viscount.
You're the Viscount of Kirkwall now.
Well, it seems the two of you have a great deal to discuss. Why don't I just leave you to it?
So, it turns out you fund enough reconstruction efforts in a city-state, the nobles give you the worst job they can think of.
That's fantastic. You'll make an excellent Viscount.
I think the nobility figured, after Dumar and Perrin, what's the worst that could happen if we put the dwarf in charge? They voted me in because I got the harbor and businesses up and running again. They want shit fixed, and I can do that. Anyway, I was hoping I'd catch you before the summit got underway. I got you a sort of present. It's official recognition of your title and holdings in Kirkwall. Congratulations. You're a Comtesse now.
You can't actually do that without...
Too late. Already did it. You should stop by Hightown sometime to see your estate. It's pretty nice. For Kirkwall, anyway.
Proper disposition of empty estates is supposed to...
You were leaving us to talk, remember?
This is possibly too much, Varric. I don't know what to say.
That's nothing. Practically nothing. Don't mention it. Oh, that reminds me. It's the key to the city.
You can't give that away without approval from the council and a special ceremony.
It's just symbolic anyway.
It controls one of the giant chain nets in the harbor.
Really? That is so much better than I thought.
You can't give me the actual key that closes Kirkwall's harbor. That's absurd.
Finally, someone with sense.
I don't know how this council thing is going to end for the Inquisition. But whatever gets decided, you've got a place lined up in Kirkwall if you want it. Also, control of the harbor, I guess. Anyway, you should meet with the diplomats. And we'll get in a game of Wicked Grace before I go back, though, right?
I wouldn't miss it.
Don't bet any public buildings this time.
I'll be here if you need me.
You there! You're to dodge, not catch. If that ball were a fireball, you'd be dead.
You found a dog.
They don't breed Mabari in Olay. The merchant said he was abandoned. Perhaps his owner's tired of the novelty.
Tire of you? With that positive attitude and fetching ability?
He's not supposed to fetch it.
I don't think you understand how this works.
Another Ferelden trapped at the Winter Palace. I couldn't leave him to that fate. Besides, I think he likes me.
I never expected you to make friends at a political council. How times have changed.
So they have. The Inquisition will change after this. I'm not yet sure what that will mean. Whatever happens, our people, you, Liliana, Josephine, will have my support in whatever form you require.
If your support comes with that of your new friend, I'm sold. I know a useful ally when I see one.
You can help. Dodge this, and I'll find overpriced Orlesian dog treats before we go. Be careful, Inquisitor. We have a ways to go yet.
I should look around.
Darling, you made it. Excellent. I scheduled this appointment ages ago, and they do appreciate punctuality.
Appointment?
With the Imperial Garden Spa, of course. You work so hard, my dear. I wanted to treat you.
I've never heard of a fancy spa serving elves.
You are the Inquisitor, darling. Savior of the Empire. They won't turn you away.
What are the cheese wheels for?
It pains me that you even have to ask. You've clearly been living too long in barely civilized conditions.
Did you hear something?
Relax, darling. It's spa day. How have you been? It seems ages since we've spoken. I hope all is well with you and Ambassador Montillier.
Are you digging for gossip, Vivienne? Trying to get me to give up the juicy details?
Merely expressing concern for your well-being, my dear. Someone ought to.
You must be keeping very busy.
Someone has to keep the mess that's been made of Thaddeus's institutions of magic from flying apart. Don't you feel better, my dear? This place really does work miracles.
What happened?
Darling, it's spa day. Don't fret. You'll undo all the good they've done. Come along, Inquisitor. They have other appointments, you know. Darling, what can I do for you?
Whatever his position, it has their root.
The Dog Lords have barricaded themselves in, I see.
It's just good sense. What Ferelden would try their wits here?
Didn't that red-bearded one wear the same coat to Celine's coronation all those years ago?
I don't think they know. Can't believe this.
Fashionably late. I thought you weren't gonna show.
I gave you my word we would talk, and I never break my word.
Easy there. I was just teasing. So tell me everything that happened while I was away. And after the betrayal, and what I put those men through, my sorries were worth about as much as shit.
Are you glad you at least tried to apologize?
It's hard to say. I go back and forth most days. They needed to know that there's a way to come back from anything. And I wanted to help them if I could. I thought going up there on the gallows was difficult. This was worse. 100 times worse. Anyway, it's nice to be back, though I'm not sure what to think of this council. No matter what, you know you can always count on my sword arm and my friendship.
Your aim is atrocious. I'm embarrassed for you.
Think you can do better? Inquisitor? Inquisitor?
Oh,
Is everything all right?
yes. Well, I wanted to speak with you, and now you're here.
This seems serious.
It's not about me. It's about you. Maybe you should sit.
I can stand.
Maybe I should sit. Inquisitor, I want you to know that I am your friend. I will always be your friend.
Oh, well, that's...
So I hope to give you sound advice on this momentous day. Do what is in your heart, my friend, no matter what anyone might tell you.
I really can't imagine what you mean.
I'm talking about marriage.
Marriage?
Josephine is a wonderful woman. If you're clear on your path to... You're not proposing to anyone. I am going to kill Varric. Why do I believe everything he says? Why?
He said I was going to propose.
He mentioned a proposal. I suppose I filled in the blanks. Or he did this on purpose. That dwarf gets entirely too much joy from my discomfort.
I might get married. I've thought about it.
I suspected as much. Being Inquisitor has brought you good things. Many good things. But only a few have been by your choice. Take what happiness you can from those and do not let them go. That is all I meant to say. Advice from a friend for the days to come. How How did Varric, of all people, become the Viscount of Kirkwall? A mystery for the ages. It is good to see you, my friend. It is good to see you, my friend.
Battles calling, Inquisition's bloody prize.
Inquisitor?
Thank you.
A pleasure.
Well met.
I don't know. I suppose.
Slightly suspect these are the early days we defend.
Inquisitor, I see you have time for afternoon refreshments.
Glimmering, glittering, perfect cut, mask a maze of gemstones. She will think it pretty.
Excuse me, I might,
I appreciate the help getting him elsewhere.
He wants stones the color of his eyes. Happy, bright, beaming, being seen, not seeing. And I needed the table.
For breadcrumbs?
Birds like breadcrumbs.
Inquisitor, how good to see you here. I came to sit and pen another song.
Sweet songs, poignant pain plants joy that grows later. She can't see me. I help her help people.
I gathered.
You're smart and kind. You're worthy of true love.
Hello, Halam Shiral! The fire of Zither must be fueled by wine, ideally shared with adoring fans.
But not with him. You need somebody nice. Yes, better. He'll be gentle. So will you.
You're with the Chargers, are you not? I've seen you in the Skyhold Tavern where I sing.
Oh yes, I love your songs. Sometimes I'd sit up on the chair to take a better look at your songs. The Chargers have their own song, if you'd like to hear it.
Good.
You sure they'll both be all right when Krem tells her?
Strong arms, a sweet voice. Father wanted me to be happy.
Which one of them is that?
Both.
It's in the sky.
Your worship, I'm glad you're here. Listen, I need you to keep the chief distracted while we sneak this dragon skull through the room behind him.
I'm looking forward to seeing where this goes.
It's for his birthday.
I'll see what I can do, Krem.
All right, here he comes. Just keep him talking. He loves talking.
Hey, boss. Good to see you.
Do you think news of the Exalted Council could affect the lyrium shipments from Orzammar?
Maybe.
It's good to see that the Veil has largely healed, now that most of the major rifts are closed. You might think otherwise, but the Veil isn't technically a physical barrier. It's more like a magical vibration that repels the Fade. Did you know that Ferelden has its own names for lords? The country is divided into Tairnirs, governed by Tairns. Inside those are cities and Arlings ruled by Arls, and then there's the Banorn. It's a large area of countryside ruled by multiple bans.
Good to know.
Most mages hate the thick of battle, but I can't imagine hanging back. It's nice to get your hands dirty.
That's why I like you, boss. You swing a sword. It's a weird sword made out of magic, but still.
I'm sorry, I can't do this.
Sure you can. They must have that thing almost across the room by now, right? Ben Hasrath, remember?
Surprise! Happy birthday, Chief!
Oh, you guys. You got me. Hey, boss. Hey, boss.
Here's you, and everyone. Glad to be back, all stuffed together. With the pressure full on. Again. Don't worry, Herald of Everywhere. I came prepared. I know what everyone needs. Just like best times.
I expected a roof.
It's early. Anyway, that was a good run. It's all been a good run. I needed that. And I need... You know it's ending, right? We can say it won't, but knobs in places like this, all they do is end things. They'll try a leash. Or worse. But maybe you aren't ready to quit just because some Lord Piddlebits is scared of us.
Is someone moving against us?
Sure. Start with everyone, everywhere. Point is, sooner, all this changes. And you've helped me understand. Too much. So it's my turn to help you. See, I have these friends. And all of them were the wrong sort of whatever. Their place changed, or it never was. So together, we made an us. Everyone needs an us. And when the world is done saying no and calls you the wrong sort of whatever, maybe we can be that us for you. What do you think, Inquisitor? Want to run some rooftops as a Jenny?
You want the Inquisitor? Don't I have a few more titles than your usual Jenny? No offense.
Some taken.
Words. Look, we don't want you. We want to be there for you. If you want to keep doing, it won't be nobles who help. It'll be friends.
Well, all I have to say is... call me Red Frigging Jenny.
Way too confusing. You'll get a city. One that rhymes with arse.
Oh! I should have said we needed a we instead of an us, because... Wait! Anus! So stupid.
To all my friends.
Always and ever, Inquisitor. Always and ever.
Sarah was never in the grave.
Creepy song is creepy. Ugh. Go figure out what end this bunch want, and then we can get to fun with friends and friends.
By the side of the divine, Cassandra seeks the truth and finds her warring blade cut so sublime. Royal hearts near and minds vary.
Hello. Hello.
By the side of the divine, Cassandra seeks the truth and finds her warring blade. So sublime, royal hearts near and minds varied charms and clever words. Bender of exalted, writer of salacious books, rogue dwarf with ragged looks. Soulless, mysterious, elfin mage, mastered magic by his own hand.
Well met.
handle this.
Taverns to sing her name. Like all the secrets of Grey Warden, proud of his life in isolation. Rooting and strong, protector of all, recruiting the brave to join the cause. Iron Bull's loyal, indulgent one, a past brilliant agent of close.
What are they up to?
Please, move along.
Of course.
It's so good to see you, darling. I've been fielding Orlesian diplomats all afternoon.
Have they given you trouble?
Not at all. It is quite alarming. It means they are all saving themselves up for later. Would you walk with me? I should like to take some air before the Exalted Council becomes inescapable. The palace has been most accommodating. We are, after all, here at their insistence, but the ministers may... No. No more talk of the council. This meeting was to spend time with you in a more relaxed fashion.
Then why can I still see those wheels turning in your head?
Work carries a certain momentum. The truth is, there is a small entertainment happening tonight, to which I may be able to find a pair of invitations.
You'd like me to go with you?
Very much so. In all the years you've worked with Orlais, you had so little time to enjoy its culture.
Perhaps you're right. These meetings and talks don't allow for much leisure time.
And then back to Skyhold without a moment's pause to take in where we are. Sometimes, I'm afraid I do not make enough time for you, my love. Please, come with me tonight.
And what is this small entertainment?
Something to ease our minds. I would very much like to surprise you with the details.
If it makes you happy, how can I refuse?
Oh, wonderful. I was worried we wouldn't find the time. The past years have been so busy. We have earned at least a few moments of rest.
A calm night out sounds...
Oh, bravo! Bravo!
Was the woman in gold playing a king? Who was the man in feathers?
Oh, it's all very simple. The first actor's mask is determined by... well, I will lend you the program guide. But tell me, did you enjoy the performance?
The performance pales in comparison to the lovely lady I saw it with.
You are sidestepping the question.
Love leaves my tongue tied.
Well, in that case, I suppose allowances can be made. I do hope you recovered from your night at the opera. Any ear-ringing should go away in a day or two. Hello, my love. Hello, my love.
Same old.
All's well, it seems.
Oh, yes. Inquisitor?
Why not?
Those Fereldans, always afraid to mingle.
All well, it seems.
It's been a while since so many gathered in this place. Maybe. I'm parched. Where is that servant?
We shall see.
It is good to see you, my friend.
Inquisitor?
Afraid to mingle.
Divine Victoria, am I interrupting?
Of course not, Inquisitor. I was catching up with Redcliffe's Arl. He's here to represent Ferelden at the summit.
Inquisitor, good to meet you.
How are things in Redcliffe, my lord?
Blessedly quiet. The mayor conveys his greetings. Redcliffe remembers its savior.
I'll try not to keep you from more important matters.
Very well. We'll continue this later, your perfection.
Many are frightened of the Inquisition's power, but I will do all I can to allay their fears.
Is there anything I can do to make your job easier?
Explore the grounds. Let yourself be seen. The delegates need to put a face to the legend. I have much to do, but let me say this. I may no longer be your spy master, but I am always here if you require.
I'm glad you finally arrived, Inquisitor. The Crown's anxious for news.
And your thoughts on Ferelden's position?
The breach is long gone, yet Skyhold's army remains. Ferelden can't continue to ignore soldiers on its borders.
The Inquisition has grown. I can see how its presence might cause concern.
Then you understand why we must demand a reduction of your military forces. A power without allegiance to either Ferelden or Orlais? Even I see neither of our countries can let it rest. I won't keep you longer. We'll have words enough when the Exalted Council begins.
Will you walk with me? The first time I came to the Winter Palace, I was only 18. I was dazzled. Such rich hangings, splendid marble columns, more golden lions than I could count. It's all still here, still bright, but I no longer see that same palace.
And that makes you sad?
It is easier on the heart to just see gilding. Now all I see are hands rubbed raw to make gold gleam, tears shed in the night over silk embroidery. Others overlook them and forget their pain, but I am divine and I cannot be blind. They seek to tear the Inquisition down. You feel it, no? Fear.
Have we not made enough allies?
If friends were easily made and kept, we wouldn't need diplomacy. Our allies can be cordial to our faces and still dread the future. They are afraid of nothing so much as the hand that directs it all.
Mine.
Already your actions have begun to reshape Thedas. Your influence is felt everywhere. It was only a matter of time before they moved. I'm surprised it took this long. The Inquisition's time is coming to an end.
The Inquisition has done enough, more than enough. Maybe it's time for us to lay down our swords and go home.
We set out to restore peace, and now peace is upon us. You and I have come so far through the darkness together, it is time for us both to live in the light. But whatever you decide, I will be honored to stand beside you. I'll be right here if you need anything. I'll be right here if you need anything.
Where is that servant? Since so many gathered in this place.
Inquisitor?
Orlais is on your side, Lord Parvis. The Inquisition's support is not a thing to lose lightly.
Which is why the Orlesian court is circling it with a net and collar? But you'll have to excuse me. I see an old friend I must greet. Inquisitor, how long has it been? Don't actually tell me. I despise feeling old. It's good to see you, my friend.
You arrived ahead of me. I hope all's well.
It's everything I expected. We've been spared the burden of surprise. Orlais wants the Inquisition tamed, Ferelden wants it gone, the Chantry meddles, and Tevinter sends but one ambassador. That's me, by the way. A reward for my interest in the South. Thankfully, Ambassador Pavis is a token appointment. Call on me as you like.
Inquisitor, Duke Cyril Montfort, member of the Council of Heralds and Lord of Chateau Haine. I have long followed your work. It is extraordinary.
Is that sentiment shared by the rest of the court?
Of course. Orlais wishes only to offer respectful guidance to the Inquisition.
Does your grace feel the Inquisition should continue to rule itself?
I would rather see the Inquisition join us freely than be carved into pieces for the chessboard. I have not forgotten Justinia's death. I had friends who perished at the Temple of Sacred Ashes. More than the good you have done, it is a good we may do together I don't wish to lose. Whatever happens, Inquisitor, I wish you well.
All's well, it seems.
Yes, thank you.
Always afraid to mingle.
Thank you, Your Holiness. Now, Artigan, as to your concerns...
The Inquisition established an armed presence in Ferelden territory. You outright seized Caer Bronach in Crestwood.
We were protecting the citizens of Ferelden, because you couldn't.
The Mage Rebellion made it difficult to keep order, Artigan. The Inquisition was only offering help.
Invading under pretext of restoring order is exactly what the Grey Wardens did to us centuries ago, and we exiled them. Now the Inquisition is doing the same thing with Grey Wardens in their ranks.
Your concern is ill-founded. The Grey Wardens have proven their worth time and again.
Of course Orlais tolerates this interference. Without the Inquisition, Celine would have neither her throne nor her elven... Marquise.
Rest assured, Tegan, the Empire of Orlais will not stand idle if the Inquisition oversteps its bounds. Unlike Ferelden, however, Orlais understands that these were the well-intentioned mistakes of a young organization.
An organization in need of a guiding hand. Yours, no doubt.
Pardon me, Inquisitor. Divine Victoria wishes to speak with you in private.
The Divine Victoria? Who is sitting just up there?
Yes, and who was once your spy master. It's a pressing matter, your worship.
My apologies. An urgent matter has come to my attention. Ambassador Montillier, can you handle this for a short while?
Of course, Inquisitor.
This is highly irregular.
Perhaps it would be best if we took a short recess. The guard said we should both see this. I believe she was correct. A Canary warrior in full armor. How did he get into the Winter Palace?
Would the Iron Bull know anything about this?
I asked, and he is as surprised as we are. Since becoming Tal Vashoth, he has had no contact with his people. He seems frustrated at not knowing more.
So, what would the Left Hand of the Divine see when she looked at this?
This is a warrior, not a spy. Part of the Antam, the Canary military. Most of his wounds come from a fight against someone using magic, but at least a few are from a blade. He was badly hurt, separated from his allies, and made it here before he died. But how?
Deadly mysteries at the Winter Palace. Throw in a Hulla statue and some Caprice coins, and it's just like old times. Can Josephine manage the diplomats while I look around?
She will be fine. It's all speeches and posturing for the first few days anyway. I will extend the recess as long as possible. I will also have our friends ready themselves for battle if need be.
You think that's likely?
I think the Exalted Council may be more exciting than we expected.
Please move along. There is nothing to see here.
I cannot wait to tell everyone about this. Well met, Your Worship.
This is the crossroads. Morrigan brought me here while showing me the alluvions. I'd forgotten all the colors.
Everything looks grey and murky to me.
I wonder if it somehow looks different to elves. Judging by the bloodstains, he tried to get through here.
Is something wrong?
This mirror doesn't look broken, but it's inactive. Maybe there's a way to unlock it. The blood trail leads to this mirror.
Let us see where this Kunari came from.
Elven ruins. I'm not sure we're even in Orlais anymore. Another Kunari, dressed like the one in the Winter Palace.
He's part of their military, dressed for war.
Scorch marks everywhere. This is the work of a mage.
A powerful one. I can still feel the heat crackling.
We need to find out why these Kunari were here and who did this to them. Over there, Kunari. If we want to know why they're here, we've got to get across to that island.
The elves bound a spirit here. It feels old. Very old.
What does it want?
Nuvenas menahelamin. Diez belasama.
We're visitors. We didn't mean to disturb you.
Vithama. Nadinan salim.
That spirit considered us intruders.
We are intruders. We aren't ancient elves.
It must have been set to guard something. That was like Veilfire. It claimed this was a refuge for elven slaves.
Cowering, cringing, blinking in the light, then cool hands, kind voices. Sleep now, you're safe.
This whole valley was a sanctuary created by the dreadwolf Fen'Harel. This doesn't make sense. In Dalish legends, Fen'Harel is our god of misfortune. That illuvian only took us a short distance. That's the same lake we saw from the other tower.
So the old elves had many uses for these devices. Wounds on the back, no blood on his sword. Someone took him by surprise.
This can't have happened too long ago. The blood's not even dry.
Here we go again. What a change of pace from the Winter Palace. A clear sky, a beautiful view, and yes, fields and fields of stripweed as far as the eye can see.
Strip what?
Terrible stuff. Looks like grass, stings like a knife, and causes sores if you so much as brush against it. So, of course, everyone in Manrathus insists it makes a very decent tea.
This is Fen'Harel helping former slaves as a mortal, not a god.
He took great pains to renounce his supposed divinity.
Worship makes you more. He just wanted to help.
Fen'Harel sounds like quite the rebel. The old elven gods must have simply loved that.
This claims the elven gods were just Evaneris, powerful, but completely mortal mages.
Was this the start of an uprising? Freed elven slaves against their former masters?
If that's true, Fen'Harel was teaching these freed slaves the truth about these false gods.
You're hurt.
The anchor's flared up. It's fine now. This looks like it fits into that pedestal by the broken bridge.
can take you!
I don't like it here.
Kunari!
The Inquisition doesn't leave alive.
did those Kunari attack the Inquisition on sight?
Kunari never act without orders. A commander in the Qun must have given them.
Are you saying the entire Kunari nation wants us dead?
Well, at last the Inquisition and Tevinter have something in common.
I like the quiet. This was a good place for spirits.
I have seen little of you these past years, Cole. Where have you been?
Helping people. Towns burned, too many dead from bandits or battles.
That's Fen'Harel, removing a Dalish elf's Valisleen.
Cleansed, fresh-faced where the marks once marred. Fen'Harel helping, healing, giving hope.
But these ruins are older than the Dalish.
Maybe the markings used to have a different meaning. What's this? Hidden weapons. These slaves actually fought back against the Evanuris posing as gods.
Interesting word, Evanuris. If all it means is mage leader, well, they were basically magisters.
This letter says the Kunari came to these ruins because the Alluvians connect to Halam Shiral.
A staging ground for an invasion?
It was some sort of infiltration. There's no more details.
It's been too long since we've traveled together. I've missed it.
Oh, it's nice to help people with you. You're quiet, except when you clank.
Let's look for anything that explains why the Kunari came here before we go. A note about an unknown intruder coming through an alluvion. They turned spirits against us, then fled.
It must be a mage. They killed any Kunari in the way and let the spirits do the rest.
Two parties then. The Kunari, and a mystery agent determined to stop them. Come on. We have to warn people about the Kunari's designs on the Winter Palace.
One dead Kunari was bad enough. Now we have more, and they're hostile.
This makes no sense. The Kunari may not be friendly to the Inquisition, but they have no reason to attack us.
They also have no reason to be here, or using illuvians at all.
I've had the mirror placed under guard for now, Your Holiness.
Cullen, please just call me Liliana.
Yes, Liliana.
It appears the relative peace and quiet of the last 2 years is coming to an end.
First the Blight, then Mages and Templars, then Corypheus, and now this. Can't we go 10 years without the world falling to pieces?
We must ensure that the Kunari do not disrupt the negotiations. The Exalted Council is in a very delicate state.
I'm certain you can soothe the nobles' ruffled feathers while we solve the real problem.
Not when the Inquisitor insults everyone present by walking out in the middle of the talks. Our only advantage is that Orlais and Ferelden are divided in goal and grievance. If they unite against us, Divine Victoria will have no choice but to support their claims. We could lose everything.
I know we're asking a lot of you, Ambassador. I promise we won't make this any harder for you than necessary.
I know, my love. I'm sorry. I will attend to the Exalted Council.
And while Josie does that, we will investigate.
We, Your Holiness?
You do, Josie?
I'll head back to the crossroads. We need to find out what the Kunari are doing and why they attacked.
And I'll have a quiet word with our honor guard.
So, you and the bard. You know most bards are spies, right?
You were a spy, Chief.
Look, I just don't want you to get burned.
Don't say it.
Because then you'd be creme brulee. Creme brulee.
Creme, I understand you and Meriden are seeing each other.
Yes, Your Worship. I mean, we've just started, so...
Oh, come on. Get in there, show her what you can do.
Listen, Chief, there's this thing you may not have learned growing up Canary and all.
Hey, I'm great at foreplay.
That's good to know, Bull.
I didn't mean foreplay, I meant courtship.
Oh, well, that's a waste of time. You two are good though, right? You need me to talk to her about... things?
No! No. Thanks, though. We're good.
The Chargers have been with the Inquisition for a while now. Is everyone still happy?
No complaints, Your Worship. The Inquisition's been good to us. We'd disband and join the Inquisition officially, but the Chief gets this sad dog look when we suggest it.
The loyalty is touching, Creme.
I'll talk to you later.
Anytime, boss. Wish I hadn't burned all my contacts with the Ben Hastrath. Be nice to have some idea what they're doing right now.
Yeah, but then you'd be on their side, Chief.
Yes, but I'd know things. I like knowing things.
I'll talk to you later.
Anytime, boss. Hey, boss.
I'll talk to you later.
Anytime, boss.
Hello, and shh. I'm trying to figure out why everyone is acting so weird. I mean, besides because Canary assassins and everything. You see it, right? There's something going with the elf servants. Makes sense after that ruin, right?
When you start going on about elves, it's hard to tell if it's about them or you.
Yes, you're ever so clever. Arse. Point is, the servants have no complaints. No asking for a Jenny. They serve this lot, but don't want them done for anything.
So, the nobles are nice, and the servants are happy?
Two things that have never been true. Mark that I said it. We're fighting Canary, but something else is on the up.
I suppose you've a lot to say about that elven ruin. About the creators.
They're not even demons, just big magey knobs punching down. And yes, the shits who use them to make me feel broken can still eat it. But always waiting for that fight is way too much work. It's like doing half the hurt for them. Maybe we're old now, but I'm tired of it. I'd rather worry about people I care about. Like you. Are you all right with it? The creators?
I'll make sense of it eventually.
Good that someone's trying. Better that it's you, because you can do it.
We'll talk later.
Count on seeing you, yeah? Here's you. Hello again.
We'll talk later.
Count on seeing you, yeah?
Hello.
Need me for anything?
You're more comfortable being called by your real name now?
Comfortable? Not quite yet. I didn't want to be Rainier for such a long time. To be quite frank, he was an ass. But I've changed. And reclaiming my name has allowed me to reconnect with people I haven't seen in years. Family. It wouldn't have happened without you.
It's nice to have everyone back in the same place again.
I have to admit I missed it. What does it mean when we need a huge diplomatic talk or the world ending just to bring us together? I got the chance to have a few drinks with Sarah. Miss that girl. It's still a little awkward talking to Cassandra. But the commander appears to have forgiven me. Finally.
What do you think's going to happen at the Exalted Council?
Maker, I have no idea. Politics always makes my head spin. The Inquisition shouldn't have to give in whenever some prissy noble gets their knickers wedged somewhere.
Until later.
Take care. Need me for anything?
Until later.
Take care.
It is good to see you, my friend.
I hear you've been rebuilding the Seekers.
Slowly, but yes. I managed to find a few of my former comrades who'd scattered to the winds. Some of them were unsuitable, and I did not ask them to return. Others felt as I did, once they read the Lord Seeker's tome. We've since recruited a few candidates who are going through training now, with full disclosure. What comes after this, I cannot be certain. I am making it up as I go along.
I'm sure you'll be fine, Cassandra.
I need to be better than fine. I want to build something that is worthy of lasting.
So what do you think of the Chantry?
You ask me just to poke at me and see if I react, don't you? It is what it is. Most Holy's reforms are interesting, to say the least. I hope they last once Leliane is gone. Regardless of what I think, it could have been far worse. You and I both remember the dark times we faced. Sadly, others have far shorter memories.
What do you think of the Exalted Council?
They are frightened of your power, and there is no longer a hole in the sky to remind them that it was needed.
They might be right.
Do not say that near them unless you want to give them the scent of blood. Even so, I would wait and see where this leads. Calmer heads may yet prevail.
When has that ever been the case?
I'm an optimist. Just ask Varric.
I'll see you later.
Farewell. It is good to see you, my friend.
I'll see you later.
Farewell.
Talked about taunting, laughs alike within your eyes.
I'm glad to see you safe after venturing into the crossroads. I do not have to tell you to be careful, my love, but... Tell me, these strange spaces past the Alluvians, are they safe to explore?
None of it has been as bad as the nightmare in the Fade. I can tell you that.
I will take your word for it. And yet, you've accomplished so much in the calm of these past years. I wish you did not have to imperil yourself for us. Again.
I won't take unnecessary risks. I have someone far too important to come back to.
And she will be happy for your return. Be safe, my lady. Please. I will do what I can here. Once the Canary are dealt with, brace yourself. The Council is just as relentless. Hello, my love.
Yes, thank you.
Everything going all right so far?
I'm surprised no one from the Council of Heralds wants your autograph.
You just missed them. Duke Cyril keeps asking me for spoilers for my next book.
I don't understand how you just become a Viscount.
When the ruler of a Marcher state dies and there's no heir, the nobles of the city pick a new ruler. Only none of Kirkwall's nobles actually want the throne. Most of them think it's cursed, actually. They can't leave it empty, though, or some other state like Starkhaven or Ansburg will probably invade. I complained about the empty office when it interfered with my reconstruction efforts. They took that as volunteering.
Any word from Hawk?
I got a message from, well, best not to name an entire chain of smuggling syndicates in polite company. Anyway, Weishaupt is apparently the special kind of mess that only appears when Hawk shows up. I'm not entirely sure how it'll all play out, but my money's on Hawk walking away from the Warden's fortress as it explodes.
So, Bran used to be Viscount, and now he just follows you around?
Provisional Viscount.
Pretty much.
With a permanent appointee, finally, in the Viscount's office, I am free to return to my post as Seneschal.
He means my true calling is arrogantly telling people they can't talk to the Viscount. He's good at it, too.
We'll talk more another time.
I'll be here if you need me. Everything going all right so far?
We'll talk more another time.
I'll be here if you need me.
All is well, it seems.
Same
Oh,
old.
yes.
How's it been?
All's well, it seems.
Yes, thank you.
Same old.
Was there something you needed?
Have you had a chance to speak with Leliana? Away from work, I mean.
Some, yes. Liliana has kept in contact, unofficially of course, but it's good to see her again. Arguing with her in person is far more satisfying.
Do you remember the first time we came to the Winter Palace?
All too well. I've already answered a half-dozen questions about my personal life. The reason we're here is because we made a difference. That's worth enduring the political small talk.
Is there anything I should know?
We were permitted soldiers here, but our every move is watched. Some things never change.
Is there any news from Ferelden? How is your family?
My sister Mia keeps me informed. As I understand, she's training my nephew to best me at chess.
Sometimes I miss the people I knew before Haven. We get so busy. It's easy for time to slip by.
Perhaps. I'm not sure I regret that. There's still some time before these years balance those best forgotten.
I should go.
Inquisitor? Inquisitor?
Darling, what can I do for you? I wanted your opinion of how Divine Victoria is working out.
Leliana is managing to hold the Chantry together, just barely. Likely your influence.
How are things for the Circle of Magi?
If you call it the Circle while they're in earshot, you'll never hear the end of it, my dear. The College of Enchanters is a ridiculous mess, but it's still a useful institution for training mages.
We'll talk another time.
Darling, what can I do for you?
We'll talk another time. Divine Victoria?
Please don't. It would be nice to just be Liliana again for a few days.
As you command, most holy. Tell me about your nugs. Did you get any new ones?
Oh yes! A litter was born just a month ago. We are weaning them right now. If you are hoping for one, I'm afraid they're already spoken for.
Do you miss being our spy master?
I think I miss the people more than the work. Josie, Cullen, I didn't notice how much I liked having them near until they weren't. We write, of course, but it's not the same.
Have your agents any news I should hear about?
There is activity in the Tirashan. Strange elves, like those at the Temple of Mythal. No news of Solus, however.
Perhaps later, Leliana.
I'll be right here if you need anything. Inquisitor, is there something I can help with?
Perhaps later, Leliana.
I'll be right here if you need anything.
Will it matter?
I can't believe it's been so long.
Around 2 years.
That's it? 2 years? Sweet merciful maker, it felt like 10. That could have been all the wine. Only thing back home I really missed.
What is this ambassadorship about, exactly?
You tell me. I didn't ask for it. One day I was minding my business in the capital, the next, here I am. I believe my father set it up, but the Imperium certainly didn't object. They'd love for the Inquisition to fall apart, so they're happy if it seems they consider this council a waste of time.
That makes no sense.
No? If Dread Tevinter actually pushed for the Inquisition's end, everyone else would disagree on principle. So they send a nobody pariah and hope for the best. Makes perfect sense to me.
What did you do in Tevinter while you were away?
I went home. Twice. Father was only there once. Mother was drunk both times. I also went to Corinus to see my good friend Maeveris. Then I settled some of Alexis's affairs. That wasn't fun.
Any thoughts about the Exalted Council?
A few. Divine Victoria needs a new tailor, for one. From the paintings of Liliana in that enormous robe, you'd think she was pregnant. Could cause a delicious scandal. As for this whole Exalted Council business, well, I warned you once that no one would thank you for saving the world. Sadly, I'm always right. So long as the Inquisition's around to remind them they're not really in charge, they'll never sleep comfortably. Whether they have the guts to take action, I suppose we'll see.
Another time.
I look forward to it. Good to see you, my friend.
Another time.
I look forward to it.
Well, it seems.
Of course.
Where did the Inquisitors slip off to during the council?
Scout lays Harding, swift and cunning, her arrows punching down to size. Scout lays Harding, taught about taunting, laughs a light will fill your eyes.
Qunari!
That path wasn't there before.
The rocks didn't move themselves. They found a way to make a path.
What's this?
Even places that aren't anymore. We need to kill them first.
Let's see where our horned friends were headed.
So that's how the Kunari moved the paths.
It's old. The stones remember different ways to be, and it asks them to change.
Watch out!
out.
Is something wrong?
This mirror doesn't look broken, but it's inactive. Maybe there's a way to unlock it.
It's been a while since so many gathered in this place.
Messer.
We shall see. Poor Lady Montier feels the council on her own.
What is the Inquisition playing at?
All's well, it seems.
Of course.
Make a smile upon you.
Just what we needed.
Do we?
Half of Val Royal must be here.